We're joined by the reigning WBA light welterweight champion of the world, Amir Khan. How's everything going today, Amir?
Everything's good, just been around about 5 days since the fight. I'm just relaxing, chilling out now, spending time with family and back in the UK, just chilling out really.
All right, well, let's talk about your fight. You were facing off against Paul McCloskey. He was 22-0. How do you feel about your performance?
Well, the performance was all right. Watching it on video, Paul McCloskey was very awkward because, he's got the southpaw style, but very, his upper body, he's got a lot of lateral movement and stuff. But I think it seemed to me that he didn't want to fight when he was in there. I think he was in there to survive, and he was just happy to do the full 12 rounds. He was talking a big fight before in the press conference and everything, but when it come down to the fight, he just didn't turn up.
Well, winning this fight, it sets up a very, very big potential fight with Timothy Bradley on July 23rd. How likely is that fight to happen still?
Yeah, but, I've always been saying I want to fight him, and I think I want the fight. I'm ready to take the fight on. We've got a date in July, so I'm happy to take that date and have Timothy Bradley and have a unification fight, and that's my ambition. And I've spoke to Golden Boy, and I've told Golden Boy what I want and who I want to fight, and they're pushing the Timothy Bradley fight for me. I mean, HBO want the fight, all TV networks are interested in the fight, and I think the whole world wants to see the two best 140-pound fighters fight each other. So I'm here now, ready. I've put my mouth on the line. I've said, listen, I'll take the fight. Now it's up to Timothy Bradley to take the fight and come back to us, really.
Now, a lot of people thought that Bradley and Alexander was going to be a competitive fight, myself included, and it wound up being a pretty dominant effort for Bradley.
Yeah. I know the Bradley and Alexander fight was a little bit boring to watch, and I remember I was in England commentating on that fight in the studio, and it was quite boring to watch, especially 4 a.m. So one thing about me is I bring excitement and I bring entertainment to the fight, to the ring, and when I fight Bradley, I mean, everyone will be on the edge of the seat.
And I'm wondering, what did you think of that fight, first of all? What did you think of Morales' performance, and did he surprise you in that one?
Yeah, Morales surprised me. I think Maidana went into the fight thinking it's going to be easy, thinking he's going to walk through Morales. I mean, I thought the same thing. I was watching it in England at my house, and we sat down, and you could see Morales was ready and up and ready for this fight. But you see, on the other hand, you see Maidana, who was so confident. I mean, I don't think he was even sweating when he walked out the changing rooms, when he was walking towards the ring. And also, you could see in his physique as well. I mean, he's always had big arms and big forearms, but he didn't really have that cut body, whereas when he fought me, he was cut up and he looked really good. And I really think that he looked drained in the weigh-in. I don't think he trained as well, and he wasn't really prepared for the fight, thinking it's going to be an easier run for him. But, Morales showed up a good fight, and he proved himself being a good fighter. But, I think, few people said, oh, well, is Maidana as good as people think he is? But I just think that I think Maidana is the best person to ask if he trained for that fight and how he felt in that fight. Because I really think it wasn't the same Maidana that's fought the likes of me and Victor Ortiz and Katanlik and them guys, because I don't think he was ready and prepared for it, right?
Would a fight against newly crowned champion Zab Judah be something that interests you?
Yeah, I think that'd be even good. End of the day, I want titles, and I want to win titles and be known as the number one in the division. And I think you've got Zab Judah, who's the world champion. That could be a fight down the line. I'm one guy who I'll never refuse fights. I'll fight whoever they put in front of me. I mean, I've got a great team looking after me, Golden Boy, and they will get me the best fights at the best time. So I'll just leave with them guys. But I'm happy to fight whoever. Zab Judah, Bradley. I'm ready. I'm at the stage now where I'm going towards my peak and hitting my peak, and I want to fight the best out there.
Would you consider a move to 147? And if you did make that move, would Manny Pacquiao ever be in your potential future?
Manny Pacquiao and me will never fight. We spoke about it, we've laughed about it, and we're good friends. That fight won't happen. I mean, Freddie did mention something on the TV in England about us fighting together, but I think he just said he used Manny's name because he's pound for pound. I mean, he said I will be his next pound for pound champion. So a lot of people twisted it a little bit. But me and Manny will never fight each other. But there's other fights out there. You know, you've got Shane Mosley, you've got Mayweather, you've got other guys out there. You've even got now in the mix Morales, who also could be a credible opponent. There's a lot of good fighters out there. And but moving up to 147 at this stage, I think is a bit too early for me, because I don't really want to move up and then get kind of comfortable at 147 and then not coming back down to 140, because I think I want to unify it first, and then once I move up a weight, I want to stay that weight. There's no point in me going up and getting used to making 147 and then killing myself making 140, because I'm a very big 140 fighter. So I think at the moment I'm happy staying this weight and staying at this weight, and whoever they put in front of me, including Zab Judah, whoever, I'm ready to take on all the fighters, because you know it's my job. My job is to go in the ring and fight and beat the best out there. And, you know, whoever they put in front of me, I'm ready for.
Well, you mentioned before your desire to fight Timothy Bradley next. Most people pretend that if you do meet him, something that you would have to worry about in the ring is not just punches, but also other tactics and headbutting. Would you have any worries if you were to step in the ring with him?
He's gonna be a tough one, because he's gonna be on back in my mind. He's gonna come in with his head and stuff. But I think with my style, I'm a straight-up fighter, so I think I'll be quite far from his head. And if he wants to he'll use his head as a technique. I mean, he'll be running his head right into my fist. So I think that's the only way we will be using my fist right onto his head. So I don't think we'll be getting a lot of head clashes. But I'm sure the referee before the fight will tell and warn Bradley about his head, so then he knows in the fight not to use that head, because I think if you look at his last 4 or 5 fights, I mean, that head is a big part of his game plan. So I'm not taking nothing away from him, because he's a good champion, and I don't want people to think he wins fights with his head. I mean, he's a good champion, he's won some good fights, but I'm sure the referee's gonna probably give him a good little warning before the fight, and he'll think twice about using his head.
Now, what can the fans expect from Amir Khan for the rest of 2011?
Big fights. I want to move up the pound-for-pound rankings. I think I'm around about in the top 15. I think I was number 12 last time someone told me. But you know, we're getting there. I'm young. I'm only 24. I want to just keep on succeeding in the sport. Win more world titles, unified division this year, and hopefully move up the pound-for-pound rankings by time next year. Hopefully I'll be in the mix of fighting the pound-for-pound best fighters in the world.